What's up, good people? What's up, Women's Basketball TV family? Listen, this is exciting for me to talk about the business behind some of the sneaker wars, specifically Caitlin Clark's deal with Nike. We're going to go behind the scenes because I'm seeing a lot of people talking, as people do online, and some of those people are not privy and familiar with what happens behind the scenes of these sneaker deals. And most of us, until you find out, don't know what's inside some of the sneaker contracts. So I want to share some of that with y'all and then get some of your thoughts on what's happening in the world of the sneaker wars. So let's jump in right now.
Turn that volume up. You know you want it. It's time for Women's Basketball TV with former NCAA champion, WNBA champion, business mogul, and national TV personality, Fran Harris. Let's get it.
Hey, Hoop fans, keep your ears and eyes peeled for details on the premiere of my documentary, A League of Our Own, the story of the most successful women's basketball pro leagues in America, the WBL, ABL, and the WNBA. Details coming soon, and now here's today's show. All right, so as y'all know, sneaker deals are the big rave right now. They're talking about it in women's basketball. They're talking about it in other sports. Caitlin Clark just signed a $28 million 8-year deal with Nike. That's the face value of that deal. That's not all of the deals. So if you're just getting involved in women's basketball, or you're just getting introduced to what happened with the sneaker deal that Caitlin Clark signed with Nike, let's go real quickly through what was on the table. Let's start with the lowest offer. That is Puma, who never really made an offer. As you see the question marks on the screen, they didn't make an offer because the price tag to even play, the price tag to even get Caitlin Clark's attention was too high for Puma's appetite. So they didn't even come to the table. And the rumor is that you had to bid at least $3 million a year. That's what Caitlin's agents put on the table. Hey, you got to come to the table with at least $3 million. I guess Puma didn't want to do that or couldn't do that. So Puma was never really in the sneaker war deal with Caitlin Clark. Let's move on to Three Stripes, Adidas. $6 million. They were offering a $6 million deal total to Caitlin over fewer than 5 years. All right. So a little over 1.5 to 2.5. Those are the rumors. There are things that are printed online, but there are also numbers that are not printed online that were realities as a part of this deal that most people don't know about. Okay, let's go there. Then next it was Under Armour, which offered $4 million over 4 years, $16 million. And she turned that down. Nike offered, Nike offered their deal over eight years, came out to $28 million. Now, those are the face values of the bids for Caitlin Clark's deal. But let's talk about some of the other things that are often a part of sneaker deals that most people don't think about, don't know about, that are fun to look at when you look at the overall deal. So the second thing, you get a salary. There's a salary that athletes get, you can negotiate for. So that's what you're seeing on the screen with Caitlin. She's getting her salary over 8 years for having a signature sneaker, right? There's a salary. Then that's pretty straightforward, right? You get so much money a year. Okay, that's just like everybody else. You make $500,000 a year, you make $50,000 a year. Everybody understands salaries. Then there is the matter of royalties. Yeah, royalties. So that means for every pair of sneakers that Caitlin Clark, that are sold under Caitlin Clark's banner, she also could be getting a percentage of that. So there is the salary, the base salary, and then there are the royalties. So you say, why would anybody be interested in that? Well, it's like if you publish a book, your publisher gives you your base, what they offer you. Let's say they offer you $10,000 for your book. That's what you're going to get. Doesn't matter. It's not going under. There's not going forward. You get 10 grand. And then every book you sell, every book that they sell, you sell or whatever, you also get a percentage of those sales. Same thing with the sneaker deal. So Caitlin Clark, in addition to her $28 million salary, could also be getting royalties. All right? Because it's really about how you put the deal together. It's not like just the face value of it. It's what else is happening with this deal. Then there could be clauses, there could be carve outs for spin-offs. So Caitlin Clark could get her signature sneaker. She could also be getting deals where she gets to do different kinds of sneakers other than her basketball sneaker. She could literally have a carve out to say, what if I want to do a Caitlin Clark running shoe? What if I want to do a Caitlin Clark court shoe, pickleball shoe? Okay, those things could exist in this deal or in addition to this deal. She could also have another carve out for the opportunity to bring others in on her line. So let's say Caitlin Clark says, yo, I want to bring Juju Watkins. I want her to be under the Caitlin brand, or I want to take someone on the guy side of the game, somebody in NCAA men's basketball. I want this person to be under my brand. Her agents could have also negotiated that, which would make this deal much richer than it is now. She could also be getting design fees. Let's say Caitlin says, okay, Nike, I know you're Nike and I know you are the queen and kings of designing amazing shoes, but what if I come up with a new design? What if I come up with some new technology that we get to add to my brand, that we get to add to my sneakers? She could have negotiated something like that. She could have also negotiated events, special programs, special shows under her brand. Caitlin Clark presents. Nike is also a media company. So she could also have commercials. She could have short films. She could have longer films under the Nike media company. She could have deals there that we just have not heard about yet. There could be other incentives that Caitlin negotiated. She could say, if we sell a certain number of sneakers by this date, I get X number of dollars. I get a higher percentage of royalties. There's so many ways to slice this deal. And most people are responding to the $28 million over 8 years, saying she should have taken the not Body Armor, that's a drink, taken the Under Armour deal because, it's $4 million in 4 years. Yeah, you don't know what was inside that deal. So what we're seeing, y'all, is the face value deal. But knowing Caitlin, knowing the agents that she hired, this deal is likely much richer than $28 million. And it's much more layered because sometimes we will take, when we're negotiating deals for whatever they're for, TV shows or clothing lines or whatever, sometimes you will take a lower face value, a lower one-time fee for something that you have for the back end, for the long game. So when you look at Caitlin's $28 million over 8 years, for me, that is a long play. I would have definitely taken a longer deal, unless they had said something, hey, we're going to give you $100 million if Body Armor, Under Armour, if Under Armour had said, listen, we're going to give you $100 million for 5 years, I think it would have been difficult to turn that down versus $28 million over 8 years. I think that would have been difficult to turn down. But then you also have to look at who's making the offer. Do you want to be in business with Under Armour or do you want to be in business with Nike? These are all the considerations on the table for Caitlin Clark over the last few months. Because, this deal wasn't consummated last week. They've been working this deal for months. These are the considerations that smart athletepreneurs are making now. These are the considerations that they are thinking about. Who do I want to be in business with? What does it mean for me to take a lower deal per year, but a longer term with Nike versus a much higher deal per year with another sneaker with another sneaker company and not be in business with them in 4 years? Caitlin clearly, in my opinion, and I haven't spoken to Caitlin yet, but in my opinion, Caitlin made a plan for the long game. She made an alliance. She decided to align with the bigger brand. She looked at the history. Just like I said in my previous video, she looked at the data. In the history of sneaker deals, Nike has done more sneaker deals than anybody. Nike has done bigger sneaker deals than anybody. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, right? Caitlin's doing what's best for her long-term brand. She will be 30 when this deal is done. That's a critical time as a professional athlete. 30. Your 30s are, a lot of people think it's when you're younger in your 20s, but literally you get to be so good when in your early 30s, it's not even funny. That's when Caitlin will probably be playing her best basketball, is in her early 30s. It's going to be crazy to watch that. So yeah, Caitlin's looking at the long game. She's looking at the long-term effect and impact on her brand. She's not thinking about how much money I can get now, because Caitlin knows she is going to get money. She's going to get money. She's going to get plenty bags. And then you also have to think about who comes on to your team when you are with Nike. You start to think of all the other things that you can attract, all the other business deals, all the other partnerships that you can attract and you can secure, all the other bags that are going to get dropped on your head if you are in business with Nike. So, smart decision as far as I'm concerned for Caitlin. When you are a huge brand, you have lots of choices. You have the choice to align with big brands who are at the level that people expect you to be at in your career. And I think that's what we're seeing with Caitlin aligning with Nike. But I think we also see sometimes, as in the case of Stephen Curry, is like he could do the thing that everybody does, which is to do a deal with Nike, or he could go and carve his own way and create and help to build a brand, as he did with Under Armour. And that's what I see for the sneaker wars. They're not over. But again, let's go over the quick little considerations that Caitlin Clark probably was dealing with in her contract negotiation. Their salary, her base salary, $28 million. Royalties, meaning she gets paid a percentage or a certain amount for every pair of sneakers that are sold under her brand. Spinoffs, her ability to do other kinds of sneakers and other kinds of apparel with Nike. Opportunities to bring others on. So not only is she just creating and building for herself, she's helping to build other ballers' brands by bringing them in under her, thereby solidifying this whole notion of women being in the business of sports and not just being participants in sports. I love that. I know that's Caitlin's thought process, is who else can I bring along? So I'll be interested to hear who's going to be under her brand. Design fees and other kinds of fees that Caitlin could get if she participates in the development of her sneakers. Events, she could build a whole movement if she decides to do that under her brand. Events, movements, those kinds of things, books, publishing, all that great stuff. And then other incentives that I believe are extremely important for participation, which leads me to my last thing, is watch the movie Air. As you will see, Michael Jordan's mother focus on participation. Participation is very important. Sometimes people are very short-sighted. They want the short money. They give me all the money now. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you look at what has historically been done with deals, athletes have not been able to participate. Brands will shoot them a check and just tell them to go away. Here's your $1 million for your sneaker, for your apparel line, go away. Participation. What y'all think about the Caitlin Clark deal? Let me know. We'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to Women's Basketball TV with Fran Harris, the most provocative and entertaining women's basketball show on earth. Be sure to click that like, share, and notification button so you don't miss a moment. We'll see you tomorrow.